How you doing, Kima? This is Angel Charmaine, host of Speak Up Sis podcast. Just wanted to give you a shout out for starting Inner Peace Speaks. I'm looking forward to hear what it is the Spirit of the Lord will have you to share in your own space. Keep doing what you're doing, sis. Bye.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for joining the Inner Peace Speak podcast. I'm your host, Kima, or Shakima. You guys can call me Kima. Make it easier, better. Or Inner Peace Speak lady, whichever one you feel comfortable with calling me. But I'm your host, and I'm just here to drop some truth, share story, testimony, whichever you want to call it, just to give you guys a little insight of my life, of the things that I have been going through. I want you guys to walk with me on my journey while I'm, still healing, because I'm not fully healed. I'm still healing, but this I found to be therapeutic because I'm not holding it in and I'm getting it out as I'm healing, and hopefully I can be able to help heal someone else, or heal someone else come out, and we could all journey on this journey together. But first and foremost, before I begin, I like to give glory and honor to my God for pushing me, because he gave me the vision a couple of years ago, but I never did anything about it. But during this COVID and this pandemic, it just has been like in my ear. It took me a few months to kind of like, is this what I want to do? Should I go through with it? And God just keep on telling me to go. So I'm going because I don't want to miss my mark, and I don't want to be disobedient to what he's telling me. I just wanted to make sure that I'm hearing his voice, because when you learning and you growing in your faith and stuff like that, you have to really be careful on making sure that you're hearing his voice. So I just, now that he said go and I have his permission, honestly, the fear is not as bad. It's not as bad because I know that he got me, and I know all things work together for his good. So with that being said, the title of this episode is I Risk It All Just for This Moment. Back in June of 2019, I was like going through the most, when I tell you the most. My daughter began to start just acting up, really. My relationship has went into an uproar. My mental space has went over the top. But I guess that was the breaking point, because I was already going through it previously. But you know me, I always try to hold things together, smile, I'm okay. And that's just not going to cut it. That's just not going to get it. So I went to the park, and I was actually going to go walk. But I sat in a car, and tears began to come down my face. And I knew I had to do something. But backtrack. Before that, I was listening to, I began listening to the morning show for believers, which Angel Charmaine, she actually, the Speak Up Sis group, she actually does it. Her name is Angel Charmaine, which is now my mentor. I love her so much because she's the one that actually took time out with me and actually helped me. We stayed on the phone. I never met this lady from a can of nothing. We stayed on the phone. I just called her one day and we talked as if we knew each other forever. Told each other we love each other and everything. And she began asking me some questions about God and about my relationship with him. And it was nothing that I could really answer because I didn't know anything. And that really, really hit me because that's the connection that I was missing. That's why all of this happened. I bless God for Andrew Charmaine. God bless you. I bless God for my classmate, Ashana. Well, we went to school together. Ashana, for sharing her page, which made me see it. And oh God, I bless God for those two angels, which they don't even know. Well, my mentor name is Angel. Bless God for her. But she asked me, a few questions or whatever, and I couldn't answer. And when I got off the phone, that really resonated in me. And that's when my journey really began. I was seeking him, but didn't know how to go about it. But God protects babies and fools. I swear he do. And I was a fool. So he sent her my way, or he sent me her way. I'm gonna say that. So, she began asking me questions or whatever, and that's when my journey began. When I had to read it over and over, and I asked, God to speak to me through the Holy Spirit. I asked him to speak to me because I had no understanding. So he started giving me understanding. I started asking questions. I started reading more, looking it up, and then after a while, God began to speak to me. So I was reading a scripture, and Ephesians 6:14 stood out. Oh Lord, that stood out. That chapter of it stood out to me.
Previously in a 5-minute video before this.
Oh my God. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, I didn't mean that. But it stood out to me. Ephesians 6:14, and what it said was, stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth and the body armor of God righteousness. And what that meant for me was, stand your ground, put on the belt of truth. So I have to stand my ground. I have to put on the belt of truth. So anything that I say, I'm only speaking truthfully from the heart, authentic, real, being transparent, open, honest, and putting on the body of God's righteousness. So that's why I'm here today, because I know it could eventually help someone. Me and my daughter the other day, I'm sorry if I'm going all over the place or if I'm skipping or whatever, but you get the gist of it. You get the point. The other day, me and my daughter were talking, and she had said, I said something, I forget exactly what it was, but she was like, Mom, yeah, I noticed, all you talk about it seem like it's God and just positivity or whatever. I was like, I bless God. She was like, yeah, it's rubbing off on me too, because I noticed I talk to my friends about God and I tell them different things. I said, I bless God, baby. I bless God or whatever. And that just really made my heart smile, because while I was in a dark place and going through it, my daughter began to get a little rebellious, and she, was going through it. She was dealing with peer pressure that I had no knowledge of. She began to act out and just do different things. And, that was just not a go for me. No, you got to get yourself together. You got to get focused. That's my one and only, my pride and joy. I cannot allow the streets to get my baby, period. So I really had to get myself together. So in June, when I, went up there, June when I went to the park and I did that or whatever, it was basically doing soul searching and trying to go for soul searching, but Andrew Charmaine introduced me into the book of John, and I began reading, and that's where my journey actually fully begins. So I just want to shout Angel out. I bless God for you. I love you with the love of Christ. I do, because you actually whether you know it or not, you have been a big impact on my life. You have been a big impact on my life just by you taking the time out to listen to me, to talk to me, to, give me words of encouragement, and just, I bless God. I thank you for that. Whatever, I do, truly. But it has been a journey for me. It has been, it's not easy. I'm still going through different things. It's like once I gave God my yes, that I will, push forward and just continue. It seemed like the enemy has been on a prowl for me. Like, oh no, oh God, he has been on a prowl for me. But I say all this to say that despite of whatever that you may be going through, despite of whatever you may be facing, you have to trust God. I tell myself that all the time now. Like, I have to trust God despite how it looks, despite of what it looks like. Kima, you gotta trust God. You gotta trust God. You gotta trust God. That's like what I meditate to myself now. Or whatever, like, because I do truly believe that all things are working together for the good. I do believe that I didn't journey this journey to go through all of this just for him to just leave me. I don't believe that. I do believe that, we go through these difficult times and these difficult things in hopes to be able to share it again, to be able to help someone else come out that's going through. It's not for in vain. It's not to punish you. It's not to... Now I understand that. I do. I fully get it now. I thank God I do now. But it just was like, I that's why I titled I Risk It All for this moment, because I really feel like I did. Like, I risked, me allowing me losing my daughter. I risked my relationship. I risked me losing my mind because of so many thoughts and so many. But I bless God that he kept his hands around me. He really kept his hands around me. At that time, I didn't see it. At that time, I didn't know it or whatever. But he did. So, this one is just basically just for words of encouragement. Despite of what it looks like, despite of how it may seem, trust God. I'm still going through difficult situations as of right now. That only one that can get me out of certain things, out of situations, and the only one that could really handle anything that I'm going through as of right now is God. So I have no choice. God left me with no choice but to trust him at this very moment. He left me with no choice but to trust him at this moment. It's either I'm a sink or swim. So, at the end of the day, I'm tired of trying to fight. I'm tired of trying to handle it. I always been the type of person, okay, I got to keep it together. I got to keep it together. I'm going to keep it together. I don't feel like I have a whole bunch of support or people that I can depend on, that I can go to. Even though, people have told me I can, I never was that type of person. I always been solely dependent on me when I was able to depend on me. So, I always been that type of person. But I do thank God for the people that he has aligned in my life. I thank God for the encouraging words that people have given me. I thank God for the ones that truly uplift me and put me in your prayers. I'm not so open with my business or whatever, but I feel like at this point it's not no secret about anything, because we all, if I want to be honest, we all going through it. We all need help in some type of area of our life. Nobody has it down packed. Nobody is perfect. And once I really understood that and really accepted that, it do make it a little easier to be open and honest. It's it do make it a little bit more open. It do make it a little more easier, to be open and honest about the things that I've been through. whatever. I just was really losing my mind. I was really losing my mind. I used to be at work and not even understand, to be honest, like not even, I was there in the physical, but mentally I wasn't at work. Like I wasn't at work. My mind was all over the place, and I'm pretty sure my co-workers knew it. I'm pretty sure because it was obvious. Like I was home, but I wasn't home. Like my mental state was really, really going. I don't even know how I made it to where I am today. You guys may think that I'm just saying this. You guys may think that I don't know. But I bless God that He really brought me out of that dark spot. I developed anxiety. Like real bad anxiety, like real bad. It's not as bad no more. Oh God, no, it's not as bad no more. But I had gained weight. I just like allowed myself to really get down at the bottom. To me, that was my bottom. I'ma say, I really allowed, like I just couldn't. It like life just really took over me. It really took over on me. It really did. So it was just a lot of things. This concludes the first episode. I'd like to thank all you guys for listening and joining in on the Inner Peace Speak podcast. I'm your host, Kima. I want you guys to always remember this. When you speak your inner peace is when you enter peace. God bless you all and have a great night.